Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network. For the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews, press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is DC Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the DC Universe.
And it's a slumber party once again in the DC Universe. What's happening, everybody? You know what? Thanks for watching live. We don't know what time it is wherever you are in the world, so thank you. It's 10 p.m. for us on a Wednesday night, which means we got some alcohol, we got plenty of stuff to talk about. We have two people that have never been on the show. One is related to Roxy. How terrifying is that? So let's get to all the intros. Let's have a cheers, everyone. This is my home brew, my Imperial Pecan
Johnny
Ale.
made this for us.
Cheers, everybody.
You gotta hit my glass and look me in the eyes, or you know what happens,
Hey,
Johnny.
salut, huh? Jet, salut. Oh my god, I can't reach it. There we
What's
go.
with those glasses, Johnny?
They're the only glasses that matched. I'm sorry, it's a martini glass, whatever.
All right, in all fairness, even though you haven't introduced us yet, I'm just going to tell you that this is really delicious beer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nutty. It's my Imperial Pecan Ale.
You're welcome.
It's nutty, just like we are.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the show. Thank you guys for watching. No Adam Gertler this evening. He marveled it up today.
People were not happy on Twitter about that.
Yeah. I also tweeted from our account, current mood on Adam Gertler, and I did one of these faces. So, yeah. I don't know. He's busy. Whatever he's doing, he's busy. He's not here. Mike Kalinowski, he'll be back very soon. But we have two very special guests. So we're at DC Movies SK on the Twitter, Facebook.com/DC Movies SK, of course. I am at Jay Quasto. Let's get to the guests. First off, she's not a guest. She's here every week. She's wearing a Doobie Brothers t-shirt, which is impressive.
That's the nicest thing you ever said to me.
Which Doobie you be?
Ha ha ha.
That's from...
What's it from?
It's from What's Happening.
Oh.
Back in the 70s. It was one
Yeah.
episode the Doobie Brothers were on.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, she's Roxy Striar. Find her on Twitter at Roxy Striar. For God's sake, you know where she is.
Hi, guys. Happy to be back. Thank you for this beer, Johnny, and thank you for making it look like I was a female drinking out of martini glass. It's really, really top-notch.
No doubt, no doubt. Would you prefer to introduce the person next to you, or should I do it?
Well, absolutely. This is my brother. His name is Jet Striar. And he is the person I call every single week to pretend that I know more than I actually do know, and he feeds me all of the news on the phone.
I'm the prep guy.
Yeah,
I'm the source.
And now you're here.
And now I'm here. Yeah, it's exciting.
Sorry.
The only thing that was bad was I see you do like the fists in for the beginning part, and I have T-Rex arms, so I can't really reach the whole way. It's hard for the cheers though too, so you know you embarrassed me right off the bat, but that's fine. You know,
I embarrass myself for 50 minutes every week, so it's totally okay. So what brings you to town?
Well, to see my sister, obviously. We got some grandparents here. You know, I'm an important businessman. I have business meetings here.
You have many leather-bound books.
That's
Yeah,
true.
many leather-bound books. So, you know, and I like she said, I prep her every week. I feel connected to the show. I watch every week. You know.
And he's
I feel
a
like
sports broadcaster
I'm
back
just
in
in the
Boston.
background hovering. Yeah, I do sports broadcasting.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All your
right.
sports-related questions, you can direct them to me.
Well, we're excited to have you. What's your Twitter?
At Jet Striar. So same last name as this one, but Jet, J-E-T. And
That's not even
my
a made-up name, is it?
No, it's a
That's
real name.
so cool.
Named after James Dean in the movie Giant.
Bottom of the
There you go.
seventh,
Oh, dang.
Jet Striar here, calling the balls and strikes.
And he'll be happy to know that Richie Chavez in the chat just said Roxy looks like Rosie the Riveter for some reason, which is exactly what he said to me before we came
There
on.
we go.
Just
Rosie
saying.
Chavez nailed it.
Let's get
Richie
to our
Chavez.
other first
Chavez
time.
nailed it.
Let's get to our other first time guest in studio. This man is an incredible photographer who we talked about on this show. This is what happened over the weekend. Roxy and I get tagged in an Instagram post by this gentleman saying, "I can't believe I'm being."
Gertler didn't get tagged? Bummer for him.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
I don't know if he was on that episode.
Oh.
It was just the two of you.
Boom.
Yeah.
I would have.
And he said in the Instagram post, "Oh my God, I can't believe my favorite show is talking about me." I was like, "What? You watched a show?" I said, "Where do you live?" He's like, "Los Angeles." I said, "Get into this show right now."
Yeah.
He's the guy that took that amazing photo of his friend dressed as a Joker that set the internet ablaze, and we couldn't be more thrilled to have him. Find him at RickyMiddlesworth.com. He's Ricky Middlesworth.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome to the show. Now, I want to get the story of that picture, but first, fan art. And I know this guy's watching us. He said he has insomnia. He's around. The Real DC2 on Twitter. Derek Cito is his name. He made this incredible fan art for us.
Bunch of fan art for us, and has done it before, and he is so freaking talented.
It's real good.
Yeah, that was a really nice voice.
There's one.
There. Real good.
There's one right there. We got a couple of them. So Derek Cito, thank you very much at The Real DC2. Hey, we love all types of fan art. You can make drawings of us, do whatever you want to do.
Put Johnny's face
Careful
on
with
some
those hashtags.
I saw the one of her in prison, right? You're in the Flash.
Which
Yeah.
is very realistic.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that could happen.
Put me in a
Or maybe
booster
it has
goal.
happened.
I was the Flash, and Harley Quinn was laughing at me, and I was in prison. It was really cool.
Let's do it. Put me in a Booster Gold outfit.
made
I don't
it.
care. Make it happen. So anyways, let's get to you. So
Oh, yeah.
that picture went crazy. And then
Yeah.
a lot of people got angry, which I thought was ridiculous, which is why we defended you. Like, no, this is an amazing photo. Why the hell are people all up in arms?
You know, the internet is just a funny place. Clay, I think Clay Enos is the unit guy. He's the guy that shoots all of those official character releases, like the Joker
Right.
picture that kind of broke the internet. And he has the coolest job in the country. And
Yours is pretty awesome.
well, until I get a cool job like that, I can live vicariously through him, and
Hey.
I can play at home, and that's exactly what it was. Some of my at home alone behavior is going through Instagram and just going through hashtags, like hashtag Suicide Squad, hashtag Joker, and you would see all those spoilers, you would see the on-set pictures and the videos, and you would see a lot of people post their fan art. Most of them are digital renderings and drawings, and they in order for people to find those, they hashtag them. So I wanted to stab at it, and I had a friend with some green hair, and we made a day of it. And
So his hair was green already.
yeah, his hair is green. My friend Maddie, and same cut and everything. So I was, it was kind of a perfect situation. It made my job pretty easy. I wouldn't have got the grills though. So he
Did
doesn't wear
he
those on
send you a
regular
rat
basis.
after? Just
No,
curious.
no, he might now though. But it was. It's just funny because I hashtag Jared Leto and I hashtag Suicide Squad because that's the look we're doing. We got the white suit, we got the grill, and I'm so fascinated by this version of the Joker.
Yes.
I think it's so it's so left field. Everyone's going nuts about it on the internet, and I think what it was that Batman fans are cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know how cool 30 Seconds to Mars fans are after that, because they went really crazy.
Like they
and
were pissed at you because...
they felt duped because I think I did a reasonable job, and it kind of passed for Jared, and that was the idea, but it was never meant. It was never like this is official from Warner Brothers, from the set of Zack Snyder. It wasn't any of that. It was just some hashtags.
Do you
And
own a
God
white
forbid.
suit? That's what I was curious.
Yeah,
about.
we had the white jacket.
Have you
It
worn
was just
it
a
before?
white jacket.
Oh,
No,
it's a white
I
jacket.
want that white jacket.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, that speaks to how
but-
great the picture was. The fact that everyone believed it as being real.
Well, what was so weird too is that right off the bat, within like minutes, it was getting reblogged, and one of the producers on Suicide Squad commented, fake exclamation point, and that's what.
geez.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what and I don't know that if producers go on and kind of look up hashtags, what are they posting about us? What can I find? He found it fast.
Well, Johnny stood up for you real quick on our show because we love the picture. I think it's awesome.
It was fun. It was just
amazing. And I also hate negative people on the internet. You see me give it to trolls all the time that talk shit. Like, I don't like negativity.
I took it as a
and
compliment.
It is a compliment, and I hope it gets you a lot of work because you deserve it. That's an amazing picture, and you did it as a fan.
So coming from the chat right now, Reeker of Havoc says he actually looks like Leto himself. So I don't know.
That's a stretch.
And also,
carry a tune.
shout out to Mike Kalnowski, who's in the chat right now. You're awesome. We love you.
Mikey.
We miss you. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to all that. We got so much stuff to talk about. I don't think we have enough time to do it. But starting off, Comic-Con. I mean,
that little thing that I'm attending next week. Yeah.
yeah, that I
lucky.
still don't know how I'm gonna get into
You'll
it.
do it. I have faith.
Oh, you don't have a ticket?
If anyone can get
You know
it,
what?
it's you guys.
You know somebody who's gotten in.
Yeah, Roxy's gonna help my.
Hey.
Is it your second time?
Why you say that like I wouldn't know? It's my very first.
Oh, wow.
It's my very first time.
Well, Warner Brothers has announced Comic-Con panel is going to happen. They're going to be presenting in Hall H on Saturday, July 11th from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. They didn't give a lot of details. All they said is there will be a sneak peek of upcoming releases from Warner Brothers, which means possibly Pan, Creed, Point Break, Conjuring 2. Who knows? And then maybe we'll get a couple appearances from Cavill, Affleck, Gal Gadot. I don't know. And maybe a tease to the Batman solo film, or maybe we'll find out who is Green Lantern, or unless Tyrese just wants to show up.
The pressure is on so thick here for them to do an amazing job. I can't even imagine. They must be sweating bullets right now.
Yeah.
It's incredible what they're going through.
I really want to see Ezra Miller. I don't know if it's too early for that, because I know the Flash movie is really far out. Can I talk about the Flash for a sec?
Do it.
Yeah.
I am so jazzed about what they're doing with Ezra and his casting and everything. And I've always been a DC guy, but it makes me so proud to be a DC guy when I see casting like this, because it's a risk. And not only is he relatively unknown, I don't know if you guys have talked about this in the podcast yet, but being this week, a very good week in the Supreme Court. But he is the first actor, as far as I know, to be cast to lead a franchise, a huge franchise. And he doesn't use the word gay, but uses the word queer. And I just think that's so revolutionary. I don't know if you guys have talked about that, but he's pretty open. And it'll be curious to see how they approach it. But it's just... I commend them for taking that risk. And, he's got this kind of androgynous thing going for him, and he's an advocate for it. And I just, I even want to see DC take that even further. Marvel and DC have kind of been introducing gay superheroes. Mm-hmm. But I would love for them to sort of shift that and explore, what superhero can have maybe, a same-sex love interest. Maybe the Flash, maybe his Barry Allen has women in his life. And I don't know, that's a stretch. But I just think it's so cool that DC is going there.
Kudos.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting point. What do you think about his talent level, though? Have you seen him in Perks? Have you seen him all?
Did you see... let's talk about Kevin, or we need to talk about Kevin. I forget what exactly. He's incredible, and it's such a smart choice, and it's getting people talking. DC's always good at that.
And the sad thing is, in 2015, it shouldn't matter what anyone's sexual orientation is.
Yeah.
And to us, we haven't even mentioned it on the show, because for us, it's like, hey, they cast him, he's good. Rock on.
I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I haven't really seen him in many things, but I watch The Flash every week, and I know Roxy covers the show, so kind of a shout out to Roxy. But I think that Grant Gustin kills it every single week as a fan. He brings it, and he's the most believable Barry Allen. I think that they're bringing. So I think it sets a really high bar. That makes it more difficult for Ezra Miller, definitely.
I think it's going to be totally different. It'd be cool to see him at Comic-Con.
I think he's amazing as the Flash, so I can't give him enough credit.
So just in the chat, J-Cool0 says the Flash won't be gay. If anything, it will be a minor character. I don't think you're implying that the Flash is going to be gay.
I just, I think DC is going to be the first to do it in their movies. I'm just calling it. I think so.
I mean,
it'll be a more minor character if they do it.
We're assuming we're going with Barry Allen here, and in the comics, that's not what his storyline is. So I don't think we're trying to rewrite the comics right now.
It's tough when you rewrite someone's story. I think that's why they're introducing new characters like that. I think it's just it doesn't upset people as much, and I get it.
Although on the TV show, there is an openly gay couple with the detective and his, I think, fiance. I don't think.
And one of the villains was openly gay too. The Pied Piper.
Pied Piper, who was actually in the comics. The detectives, they have been together, I guess. So it's interesting. I think that it would have to be written first in order for people to ease into having it on the screen, because otherwise people just get up in arms about changing the stories. I don't think it has to do with anything about being homophobic or anything of that sort.
Well, they're still always going to...
Of course.
I live in West Hollywood, and I went to the Pride Parade, and you should see all the horrible people protesting it. So it's still out there, which is sad and pathetic, but... You are right. Most of the people would be more like, don't change the storyline. There's still going to be a small percentage that would just be against it, period.
Sure.
And that's how it's going to be.
Kevin in the chat says Harley Quinn gets a girlfriend. She's buying the comics now. Really good point. So, and of course you're right, Johnny. And that's a bummer. But I don't think that's the majority. I find the majority of comic book fans to be very open. They just like to stick to the stories that they love.
Understandable. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Good topic. I like it. Strong way to start off the show.
Yeah, he came in hot. Good.
Ricky Middlesworth, man, coming in hot.
I might have prepped that one.
Just read it.
Might have.
Hey, I'm proud of you.
Let's look at his notes,
Regardless. Awesome way to start the show. Speaking of Warner Brothers, let's stay on that Warner Brothers train. They announced they're going to be handing over the edgier DC projects over to New Line. In other words, all of the Vertigo brand, including Preacher, Lucifer, Sandman. So, because they think down the road, Preacher and Lucifer will get their own solo projects aside from the TV shows. But obviously, Sandman's the one that your boy, JGL, is in charge of. And it's going to be a difficult project, but...
I see my boy.
What? I don't know, because you probably think he's handsome and you like him, I'm guessing. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, right? He's my boy. I'll take ownership of that.
He's not her type. I've met some of her past boyfriends.
Hey-o! But yeah, Warner Brothers wants to focus on BVS.
Right
and so yeah, that's what's going on. Many would say that Sandman is kind of the responsible for Vertigo in the first place. And also, they also announced Guillermo del Toro's Justice League Dark, now titled Dark Universe, could fall under Vertigo, but that leads to our next story. But any thoughts first on New Line taking over the, quote, maybe smaller projects?
Yeah, absolutely. The first second that I saw this, I was like, uh-oh. And then that uh-oh quickly went away, and I don't think that this is the biggest deal in the world. There's no reason to panic. It's totally fine. And if anything, it's actually better because we can delve into this universe, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to them having a plan in place, and there's so many properties to explore, and I'm happy they're not going to spread themselves too thin, and
Yeah,
I think it'll make for better movies.
I think a similar reaction to what Roxy had at first. I think with any sort of DC news, especially because people have been very concerned when there was that story about the multiple writers in a room to try to write the script. Anybody goes, "Oh my God, what are they doing? They don't know what they're doing." But I do think it seems like a plan in place, and especially with the Sandman property. That's a film property that's been tried to be developed in Hollywood for a long, long time now.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like they're taking special care of it and saying, listen, we can't handle this right now. We really want this to be developed. We're going to pass it off to you. That seems a better way to get that property developed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Under the best care it could be. So I think if you're a fan of that comic book of Sandman, this is great news for you.
I think it's great news all the way around because, like you said, New Line, they know what they're doing. And if they could focus on these projects, making them as great as they possibly can, then what the hell? Because Sandman, that's not an easy thing to do.
No, I think it's good. You don't want to... They're admitting they can't bite off... They're biting off more than they can chew. And you want all these movies to be great. You don't want somebody to overextend themselves and let some of these... They're calling them smaller properties, but they are going to be huge budget movies anyways, fall by the wayside because they're focused too much on The Flash or The Green Lantern,
right.
Those ones. So I think it's really good news. If you're a fan of those properties, this is the best news possible for you.
Now, what might not be the best news possible is Guillermo del Toro is now departing Dark Universe. It still has not gotten past the development stage. He's got Crimson Peak coming up. He's got Pacific Rim Dose coming up.
Yeah, Crimson Peak does look amazing.
Show does. And so who knows? This is a sign that obviously Dark Universe may have to wait until they see how Justice League plays out and stuff like that. So it's kind of just going to be sitting on the shelf, I guess, for a while.
Huh. Yeah, the bummer about that is Guillermo del Toro, we all know, is just such a talented, amazing director. And
right.
He has a very unique vision. There's not really another director I can think of that is similar to him stylistically and in terms of just like originality. And I think that's a shame to not be able to see his vision play out. But you never know in Hollywood. But losing him is you can't see it as a positive unless they bring in another maybe big creative name.
Right. Again, anytime we lose somebody from a project, I sit there and think, uh-oh, what does this say about the project? Is something wrong with the script or whatever? But we're not far enough in development that we could possibly blame this on the project. So the only bummer is that we're losing him, which, of course, is a big bummer.
He's just busy, and there's so much going on in DC.
Right.
The slate just keeps growing.
Mm-hmm.
And does that mean they're going to name a director soon? If they're announcing this?
I don't think so.
If it's anything like Wonder Woman, they'll have something within 48 hours.
Yeah. I don't think
it will be, though.
Yeah, I don't think this announcement was as planned as the Wonder Woman thing. I think there were a couple phone calls that were strategically placed with that. But I think with this, it's just an announcement like, yeah, sorry, don't expect much right now.
Yeah. I don't even know how many people knew that they should be expecting that anyway, though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a property that's really on the forefront in terms of the public eye, at least.
Well, it's because Guillermo kept talking about it so much.
He talks about a lot of his properties. He's a talker.
So he puts it out there, so people are going to talk. Like, well, hell, we're guilty of it. Mm-hmm. He gets us excited for it.
I would so much rather see his Justice League Dark movie than another Pacific Rim movie.
Agreed.
Sorry.
Retrobat says Del Toro's script is still there, just needs someone who can execute it. So
similar to maybe the Ant-Man situation with the script, basically stayed the same, but the director changed hands.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep, so it looks like this will probably be the last time we're talking about Dark Universe for quite some time. Unless, of course, they name a new director. I don't know. But Cara Delevingne, speaking of...
It's like the Supergirl problem.
Speaking of sexual orientation, Cara Delevingne took aim at comic book movies this week in general. I'm going to toss out a quote, and we can all react to it. Quote.
Wait, I think I need a sip of beer before this.
Will you guys please drink my beer? People in chat are wondering why no one's drinking except me. You know?
All right, just so you know, I can also see this chat, and I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, people are saying, why is no one drinking?
that was a mean call out. You know I love you and your beer, and I am drinking.
Okay.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
By the end of the show,
please, sir.
Better be empty. Every
Okay,
glass.
it will be.
All right, here's the quote from Cara. Female superheroes are normally linked. Female superheroes are normally naked or in bikinis. No one would be able to fight like that. Wonder Woman, who the hell does she fight? She would be dead in a minute. And then another quote. There are only 3 girls in Suicide Squad, but in my opinion, they have the best roles. Generally, though, superhero movies are totally sexist. She's outspoken.
Do not bite the hand that feeds you. Oh, God, this is a PR nightmare for her.
Hey, look, if that's how she feels, I give her credit for saying it.
I think she's awesome and she's funny, and I'm so excited to see her in this and in Paper Towns and whatever else she's doing.
I just think it's a weird way to give a compliment to the movie that she's working on, because it's clear that they have really strong female roles, but
especially it's a connected universe. Like Wonder Woman, she literally brought up Wonder Woman's name. She's going to be in their huge movie that's about to come out soon.
And she's cast. It's like a shot to gal.
Is there any chance she was just high?
Yes.
Yeah, but I just think there's so many. If she wanted to get the point across, she could have phrased it so much better. Like, I'm so excited about the female roles in Suicide Squad because I feel like it shines a different light on females in comic book movies.
Right, or like, I'm glad that there's more expanded roles today for females to be superheroes.
She's not coached like that, though. She's a rock star. She's a supermodel, and I think this is all kind of new to her.
What I think is kind of hypocritical about it is she voiced a character in the new Grand Theft Auto game, and talk about I love Grand Theft Auto, but if you want to talk sexist, like Grand Theft Auto,
Speaking of which, you know who else is in Grand Theft Auto?
Really?
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
I am a very minor character. If you light something,
did I shoot you?
You probably can. If you light something on fire, you know how the fire truck shows up, and there's a white guy and a Latino guy that jump off.
You're the Latino.
I'm the Latino. No, I'm the white guy that's screaming at the top of his lungs, cursing at you, and tries to fight you.
Okay,
So-
You're welcome, everyone.
Just-
Amazing.
You're welcome.
Star Destroyer 11 says, "Ha ha ha, Johnny, she was high. Let's move on. LOL."
Probably
so maybe that was enough.
She probably was. And
Wouldn't that be good if her PR person said, "Sorry, she was high."
Yeah.
It's like Dave Chappelle. I'm a little high.
to have that kind of freedom.
Okay, let's move on. She was high. Yeah.
No, I'm not even meaning to hate on her, because I love when people express themselves. Like somebody like The Rock, who he's going to do these swerves and say the right thing, and he's so well trained in this. That's one thing. She, like you're saying, really doesn't have experience in this. When she's going out on the runway or when she's doing shoots, nobody's like, "Ooh, make sure you're careful what you say." They're like, "All right." But that's kind of a sexist thing within itself. I just think that she bit the hand that fed her, and she's going to have problems being cast in things based on the fact that she's being a bit of a PR nightmare.
Well, and she comes from a very sexist industry, so
Right.
I'm sure it's easy to have a chip on your shoulder.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, I can tell you from experience, modeling is not pretty, right? Am I right, dude?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
moving on.
What was that? I'm not ready to move on.
Oh, you want to keep go?
No.
I want to talk about David Ayer, but go
I wasn't
ahead.
ready to move on from isn't that right? Are we modeling these days?
Just being humble.
Oh, okay.
We're talking.
All right.
Setting something up.
Oh yeah, because he's a photographer, and
Yeah.
you were oh got it. All right.
And
Okay.
I look good in my Brazil shorts.
I'm ready to move on now.
We used to take
move
family photos. Does that count as modeling?
Yeah.
We'd all wear
used to.
overalls.
We would match them.
Yeah, we have matching
Oh,
clothing.
those crazy
That's kind of modeling.
stars. All right, so David Ayer, get
No,
this.
yes.
Get this, y'all. Get this. So, David Ayer is so concerned about the cast of Suicide Squad really getting into their characters and being method. There is a therapist on set. I love this. There's a therapist on set. And here's a quote, actually, from Adam Beach, who's playing Slipknot. David Ayer is about realism. So if your character is tormented, he wants you to torment yourself. He wants the real thing. we kind of have like a therapist on board. How do you kind of have... Anyway. We have a therapist on board if you fall off the wagon and are really villainous. There's a friend of Ayers that's very unique in making sure we have our ground. He's not a psychotherapist, but more of a life coach. Us actors explore very fine, thin lines going to the dark side. And he wants to make sure we finish a movie and don't disappear somewhere and then don't show up for work.
All right, here I'm about to be a bit of a PR nightmare. I don't know how else to say this, but this is saying, do you remember our last Joker? He was a method actor. He killed himself. We're scared for you guys. That's exactly what this is.
Wow, I never thought about that.
There are a lot of other variables in that. You know, he had a lot of personal issues. But
no, I'm not saying he didn't. Yeah. But I really think that's what this is.
Absolutely.
Right. When you method act as the Joker, things could go wrong.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know what he put his actors through on the set of Fury. It was very much a real life boot camp thing, like threw the phones in a bucket and didn't have contact with the outside world. So it was, all the actors on that movie had quite an experience. So I can't imagine what he's putting them through.
Took it to another level, like he gave himself his own scar or something with like a Bowie knife.
Yeah.
Right.
Too much, too far.
What are they being egged on to do?
I think that it's really smart to be sensitive about this, though, because even if it is mostly regarding Heath Ledger and what happened there, that's a tragedy. And anything we can do to prevent something like that happening again, then we should all try to take precautions to do. So sure. I think that the fact that he has a therapist on set is just saying, listen, I want to push you guys to the edge, but I also care about you as people. Yeah. And I'm going to try to help in whatever way I can. So
let us not forget they're on set for long days, and if they're in character, it does affect you a little bit physically.
Every movie should have a therapist on set.
Completely agreed.
It's a hard process.
Sure is. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Speaking of which, being method. So apparently Jared Leto, in Joker fashion.
Oh my God, Shia LaBeouf took his tooth out. Is that what happened?
When? He did that and he gave himself his own scar with his own knife or something. Like
when?
When he was doing Fury.
Oh, he did some weird shit I heard. Yeah.
Who knows what sort of shit he pulled on Even Stevens?
Why? Do you see him? He was freestyle rapping over the weekend with a rat tail. Yeah.
What is it?
Anyway,
do it.
I mean,
I don't know how we got to talk about him. Anyway.
He might show up here. We don't know. So Jared Leto apparently sent Margot Robbie a rat.
I'm a little jealous.
I love rats.
Where's my Christmas present?
I've had pet rats. They're fantastic.
And did you hear the rat is now with Guillermo del Toro, apparently? I don't know how that connection happened.
That's why he dropped out of Dark Universe. He has a pet to take care of.
That's right.
Too much work. You have to be responsible as a pet owner.
That's what it is.
All right. Are you guys all kidding right now? Because I can't tell. If somebody sent a rat to me, I would be like, what the F just happened?
No, I've had pet rats. They're fantastic pets.
So if I sent you a rat, you'd be like, thank you, Roxy. Thank you so much.
He didn't send her a freaking sewer rat that was hanging out with the Ninja Turtles. No, he probably sent a
You don't know that.
That's adorable.
There's a lot of pictures of the rat on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, along with 5 cockroaches? What kind of rat is adorable? Sorry. Did that just offend all the rat lovers out there?
They are. Stop it.
But then he also gifted Will Smith
somebody said
bullets,
I'm pregnant
right?
because I'm not drinking this.
Oh, well, then drink the beer.
I am. I'm drinking it. Look, rewatch
You
this.
too,
Not
Jet.
pregnant.
Don't make me drink it. I will.
It's a threat from the Latino fireman from Grand Theft Auto.
He's a bully. Wait, sorry. I interrupted you because I wanted to tell everybody I wasn't pregnant.
It's important.
Yeah.
No, I guess he gifted Will Smith a round of bullets. Was there another one?
Well, that's thoughtful.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It's more thoughtful than the rat, I guess.
There's definitely going to be more things that come out because every time we hear anybody in their junkets or at the red carpet, they're saying that he got something. Like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Buzz,
we're going to start hearing PAs like, "This is what I got from him."
Yeah.
And if you're close with him and you get something like a rat, imagine if he doesn't like you very much.
Can you imagine if he sends you a duck eating Pop Rocks? Duck! They didn't move around. That's because they blow up. Forget it.
What?
You're killing ducks in your spare time?
No, you can't feed them Pop Rocks.
I don't know if he'll be
it's birds with rice.
Whatever. Pop Rocks. Just shut up, Roxy.
I want Pop Rocks.
It's messed up.
Grammy doesn't like when people say shut up.
I don't know if he's going to be at Comic-Con, but I would love, if he's doing this whole method thing, I would love, I don't know,
If
like
he shows
a
up at
video.
Comic-Con, he might kill somebody.
Right.
I mean,
Not that, but like, I don't know, like a video message, kind of, like all of the Heath Ledger
That'd be
video
cool.
messages that he
That'd
would
be
send in
cool.
the movie. Him in character, that'd be kind of cool.
All right, couple of things to say in here. A bunch of people are reminding us he sent the cast a dead hog.
Oh, right.
So that happened also.
why do they say hog? Who says hog anymore? Isn't it just pig?
I don't know.
I feel like hog,
Hog
is
sounds
very-
bigger than a pig.
Yeah,
Hogs
that's
are,
true.
Hogs are way bigger.
And-
they're two different animals?
Yeah, I mean, they're in the same phylum. They're the same family, if you will.
Okay.
I don't know. When I think of hog, I think like a big old hog.
I just think a hog is a fat pig.
I would have a little pig as a pet. That's better than a rat. Like a little pig.
Yeah.
Quite little pig.
No, they poop a lot.
Do you go to a pet store to get all these
No, there's actually rat breeders. We're getting off topic.
rat breeders?
Let's talk about something that might be a fact because he says so a lot. That'd be Tyrese Gibson.
This makes me so uncomfortable.
So uncomfortable. It's like pushing it to the next level.
It's so Sean Young in 1991 when she was
Wow.
campaigning for Catwoman, and
point.
like is he showing up at the Warner Brothers casting offices in costume? Like, there's no way. I don't think that he has this role at all. There's no. Does he have a publicist?
Damn right he
there's-
does.
Why is he posting all these pictures online? It's just weird. You just don't do that, and the studio would not want that.
It's funny you asked that question. He says it all started because of the fans. He's like, I was minding my own business.
It's so weird.
Not thinking about Green Lantern, and all these fans are tweeting in this amazing art, and all of a sudden, I should be Green Lantern. Here's his quote from an E! interview.
I'm so nervous every time he talks.
This quote's hilarious. I'm going to do it in my Tyrese handsome voice.
Ooh.
I took the oath. I had a meeting at Warner Brothers, and certain things were said and talked about.
Both said
Drop
and
the mic,
talked
walk
about.
away, Tyrese.
Wait, can you tell me about this handsome voice though? I'm a little confused. I didn't know that he had multiple voices. One of them was the handsome voice.
I was just trying to sound like Tyrese.
pretty suave.
No, it was pretty good actually.
Thanks.
Just cringeworthy. Like everything he says, or all the posts and all the Instagram. Now, if he's announced, I'm just not excited at all.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. If you go back, I don't know, 6 months ago on this podcast, I was like, yeah, he's gonna rock this.
It's gone to a new level. Like, I want to see Jon Stewart's character in the DC cinematic universe,
Absolutely.
but
Yes.
there's this weird taboo attached to it now.
coming from my world of sports, this is what people do to get into the All-Star game. They'll like campaign, they'll make like goofy videos and like post it on Instagram. Like, this is not how you get a role in a movie.
I think it's really cool when actors take their own fate into their own hands and they say like, this would, or do it once, like, oh, I would love to do this, or make the extra call and don't just leave it to their agent. This is so not that
And
anymore.
also, I don't think Tyrese fits the Jon Stewart
No,
character.
I don't
I'm
either.
not saying Tyrese doesn't have range, but he doesn't fit the character, man.
I don't
know-
think so either.
I know he's done, disaster films, but still, I don't think he fits the thing.
We're getting mixed things in the chat. A lot of people are saying he needs to go away, and then some people are saying poor Tyrese. I'm sorry.
It is very
Don't
sad.
feel bad for. He lives in a mansion. Don't feel bad for Tyrese. He wears mink. Don't feel bad for Tyrese.
Fast and Furious money, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, but I understand when you want something so bad, when you really want a role and you feel like it's out of your hands and all you want to do is get it, so you think that this is the way to go about it, but it's not.
No.
Unless
That
it
does seem
works.
to happen a lot with the comic book properties, though, is that a lot of these, people grew up reading or loving the comic book characters and really want to play them on film. You've seen it with all sorts of characters that there have been movies of already. People are like, yeah, I would love to play this role.
But do you feel like he's one of them?
I don't know if he's doing it because he thinks it would be good for Tyrese or because he loves the character. That's
Right.
the biggest concern I have.
Let's take
Right.
a wild guess.
Someone does not like Tyrese.
No, I don't dislike Tyrese.
Is he the type of guy that refers to himself in third person?
Yeah.
I feel like he might be.
Yeah.
It's just blatantly. And also, he was teasing, talking about Chris Pine as if he knows that too. So it's
Tyrese
just-
knows all.
Yeah. He's.
Does he?
Listen, the Chris Pine thing has been brewing for a while. I mean,
Chris Pine's great. And Chris Pine hasn't been Instagramming every week being like, stay tuned to hear when I'm announced.
no, Captain Kirk doesn't need to Instagram.
Yeah, he's busy.
I love him. I love him. No, I just, again, I'm done with this. I'm done with him announcing this. It's going to be really embarrassing if he's not.
Yeah, it'll be awkward when someone else walks on stage and
That's just so awkward.
He even responded to an article, I think. There was some article that was why he's a bad choice for Jon Stewart, and he tweeted about that, and it's just he needs to just zip it.
Yeah, I would learn to be okay with the casting because I love the character, but I don't think that would be the greatest casting for their Jon Stewart.
Totally
and he's such a great character. If they were going to do, I know they're talking about this buddy cop Green Lantern thing, but if they were going to do another solo Green Lantern, I'd prefer it to be Jon Stewart's character.
As would I, but not. Oh God, if it's solo, they can't do Tyrese. No.
I think that we're not only going to get 2, but they've also announced that there's a possibility of us getting 3. So.
Which we'll talk about in one of our Twitter questions.
Okay.
So
good tease.
Hang on just
I did that on purpose.
Let's do this real quick. Roxy, you sent this over to me. I didn't have time to look at it. Ben Affleck sent over Instagram video.
Yeah.
Take it away.
It was very, very short. I don't think you
cute.
can have Instagram videos that are too long. It was like 5 seconds. And it was him with Seth Lee, who's his co-star and the accountant. And it was like, I'm Batman. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. I'm Batman. That was the worst impression of all time. Go check it out. I butchered that. It was cute though.
Yeah,
and
it was a taste of his voice.
Yeah.
It was good.
Which was basically his regular speaking voice.
So what would make me better? Give me I'm Batman.
That's pretty good.
Is that good? I'm Batman.
The voice
There you
actor.
go. More growly.
Batman.
I'm Batman.
You've never
I'm
heard
Batman.
Bane Cat.
Do you believe?
I think I'm gonna go as Bane Cat for Halloween. By the way,
God.
you'd like to know.
Oh my god.
All right.
I think.
Oh my god.
Who showed
send
you
you
Bane
pictures.
Cat
I don't know.
initially?
I don't know.
I'm gonna
Lie.
say Jet Striar. Jet Striar. I'm gonna say Jet.
Jet.
Moving on. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, back to Sandman, talked about why he believes Sandman would be a better movie than a show. He does say he promises to be true to the overall sentiment of the books, and his quote here is, "By reworking the material into a big movie, the brilliant characters and ideas get to take shape in a way they've never before. Also, I think Sandman deserves to look mind-blowingly awesome. He does say it won't be word for word, but it's not going to be a huge break off from what we've seen because it's so brilliant." He's like, I don't want to mess it up. I promise I won't.
Yeah, I think nobody who starts a project is like, I think I'm going to mess this up. Why don't I just try to do that?
Yeah.
I have a lot of faith in him because apparently he's my boy. I don't really know why he thinks it would be better as a movie than a TV series, even after that quote. I think it would do pretty well as both. But I'm
still
excited.
say movie for sure.
As does he.
Yeah. It's tough to do those universes with a TV budget. I think Flash does it best.
I think, I know you don't like talking Marvel
Daredevil.
here, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Daredevil, I think, do an excellent job. And Agent Carter, I thought, did an excellent job, too. Though there's not really a superhero element to those shows. It's more of a kind of like a law enforcement element. But, there's some superhero elements in it that I think they do a great job. TV has changed so much from even 5 years ago what you can do. I mean, she's the TV expert here, but in terms of, like, the effects you can do, even on... Flash doesn't have that big of a budget, does it?
No, it has a very small budget. But if we're talking TV budgets, I mean, Game of Thrones maxes out at $13 million an episode, so they average at I think $6 million an episode, which is like, that's more than a lot of indie film budgets, way more. So I think that there are ways to do it. That's not me saying I don't think this should be a movie. I think it'll be a great movie. I wonder what his angle is here and why he would say this. Did somebody say to him, I think this would be better as a TV show? Why did that even pop into his head? Because of Preacher?
They're always kicking around ideas.
Yeah, I think it's been, like I said earlier, it's been a long-standing project in Hollywood, and I think it's been a long-standing project because people go, well, should we make it a TV show? Should we make it a movie? So I think he's obviously a fan of the comic book, and so maybe he's just sharing his genuine opinion about it.
Yeah,
I want him to win me back because I'm a fan of his. I just haven't been a fan of his role choices. The biking movie.
Oh, that was so bad. I watched it on an airplane. I was like, oh.
The Don John movie.
I thought he was incredible in that.
He was
oh my god, he was
Don
so
John,
good.
yeah.
He was so good.
He was performance-wise great. There's kind of an unlikability.
He's got
about
that
the
new
character.
movie coming out
I
where he
want him to
walks
win me
across
back.
the wire on the.
Yeah.
That looks kind of cool.
That looks amazing.
And then the Robin
So-
snafu thing. That wasn't his fault, but I was bummed about that.
Wow, you hold grudges.
I like him. I want him to win
That's
me
not what
back.
I'm hearing about my boyfriend. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. All right, well, we got a few more stories. We're going to do a couple questions. Roxy, I believe now it's time to talk about... So Canada released...
Johnny, come on.
What?
You usually at least join in with me. You hadn't been here, and then I had nobody.
You have your own theme song?
Yeah,
TV time.
This is awkward
It's
for
like
the
the
guest host.
longest
Yeah.
one I've ever heard.
Trust me, it's awkward for me too. So Canada released their own Supergirl trailer, and I gotta say, way better. It makes me want to watch it.
Why? Because there's no Devil Wears Prada part to it?
It was a little less that. Yeah.
It was
All right.
actually
More
more
action-driven.
It was way more legitimate.
So I've tried to voice this a couple of times, but not as well as he can do it himself. I actually have been a big fan, looking forward to Supergirl. I think that you have felt a little otherwise, and I'm curious if this changed your mind or what you're thinking or why you don't know if this is the best idea.
I think it has a lot of potential. The things I didn't love from the initial trailer, as I just said, it felt very like, oh, look, she's a girl in the big city. She's trying to make it. She also has superpowers.
She's
like, how cool is
gonna
that?
make it after all.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that was a problem. And also, I don't know how I feel about the like, oh, Superman's in this world. Like, he's here. He's coming. You're not going to see him, but he's here. Trust us.
They reference him
here's
a
his
lot
cape.
with that,
It's
yeah.
cool, right? Superman. He's down the street, I swear. So I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, you're talking about the biggest character in DC, and you're going to just constantly, if you're
Yeah.
putting in the trailer, you're constantly going to reference him. And if he's never going to show up, I have a hard time thinking he's going to show up.
I don't think he is either.
In the show. So
Pilots change
how are you
so
gonna-
much from pilot, status to the rest of the series. They kind of fix
That's
things.
true.
They work things out.
Did
I
you
may
watch
or may
the
not
pilot?
have watched the
Yeah.
pilot.
Oh no! See, I'm trying to.
was a jackass and did the
respect.
same
I'm trying to
thing.
respect
I
it. You
couldn't
kind of have to
help
do
it.
it for work though. Like you need to know.
But she's excellent, and I have a lot of
Melissa,
faith in
she's so good.
She's so good in it. I can't wait to watch more of it. I don't want to spoil anything, but she. I just think everyone's kind of griping about DC being, or Marvel fans, I should say, being so serious and taking itself so seriously. And this, it doesn't take itself so seriously. I think it works. I think it's different.
Well, you're a Flash fan,
mean,
doesn't take itself too seriously
right,
either.
exactly.
So I get it.
Being on
does that well.
CBS, it's going to get us a legitimate shot to begin with, because CBS is doing well as far as networks go.
Yeah.
So it's going to get a legitimate run.
I hope so. I have a lot of faith in it.
They'll give it certainly the full. They'll probably renew it for a second season. They'll at least give it 2 seasons. I would be shocked if it didn't go 2
Yeah.
seasons.
You should see her in the new Hollywood Reporter. She looks beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
She is. She's a gorgeous girl. And
Hair
It
for
could be
days.
great. Smallville, I loved Smallville, but if you go back and rewatch it now, some of the effects are dated on it.
Sure.
And if you do it now, it's like you can see the flying effects, even in the trailer, are like much better. And that's cool. And if they can have the show be as popular as Smallville and beyond, they're in pretty good shape. I think Smallville went 9 seasons, 10 seasons.
yeah. So Eduardo Ors 27 says Melissa's better than I thought for Supergirl. I said the exact same thing. Honestly, I was really hesitant about this. As you guys know, a friend of mine, David Rappaport, was the casting director, so I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's really, really good. But I was scared. I think I've seen her in Glee. I saw her in Whiplash. I think she's very talented. She's always been kind of mousy. And
she was in Whiplash.
Yeah, that made me concerned, and I thought she knocked my socks off in the pilot.
Yeah.
And then watching this trailer and everything that follows, I always think that she from this show, she
Super
does a perfect
charming.
job.
She looks
Yeah.
good.
It would be great because she's a great character, and DC, their animated movies have done a really good job with her, especially some of the more recent animated movies. She's strong and tough, and you really don't get any of that element that you saw like in the first part of the original trailer where she's like, oh god, these heels are hurting me. Oh man, I gotta work for Ally McBeal in this tough office.
Ugh.
And so
The only thing that would make it better for me is if Faye Dunaway came back.
Yeah.
so we'll
And
see.
then Johnny's just picturing that now.
It'd be messy. It'd be good.
Moving on to another show that people are often 50-50 about. Gotham has cast a new actress, Jessica Lucas. Jessica Lucas. God, it's hot in here. I can't even speak anymore. Is going to be playing Tigress. She was on Fox's Grace Point. She's going to be playing Tabitha Gallivan. The story is going to be that she's the lead enforcer for her brother Theo, a billionaire industrious hell-bent on taking over Gotham, and she's going to be toting a bullwhip.
Yeah.
And she's beauty.
Yeah, and
Gorgeous.
girl's gorgeous. I know nothing about her.
Yeah.
So I usually watch every show that somebody that was on a TV show. I know exactly where they came from. I know nothing about her except for the fact that she is stunning. So at least she'll be pleasant to look at.
I don't know too much about the Tigress character either.
Yeah.
She's very Catwoman.
My guess is this is the kind of role she must have blew it out of the water in the audition. Because I looked up her IMDb. I mean, she's busy, but she's not like hand over roll.
Here's the thing with all of these superhero shows, people that are casting them, they have an entire list of people that have come in for them like 50 times for all the other superhero things that they have cast. So I'm sure, yes, she probably knocked it out of the park, but even though she hasn't been cast in a lot of things, or she's been cast in some things, but not a million things, she's probably gone in to audition for the same casting director 50 times.
So they like know their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, and it's like, where can we place her? Eventually we'll get her in somewhere. So
yeah, I mean, you know Rappaport, it's like the key is...
Well, he doesn't do Gotham, but yeah.
Right, the key is get in front of these people and make them a fan and have them keep bringing you back.
Right.
And, it's probably what she did. And it's not hard to be a fan of her.
Yeah, she's beautiful. But my problem with... I watch Gotham, and I like Gotham for the most part. My problem is stop adding villains, for the love of God.
A lot of villains.
Literally a million villains already on Gotham.
Just for the sake of introducing a villain, not necessarily
They went through the whole rogues gallery in one season, and Batman is still like 12 years old.
Yeah, well, and then on that, I'm happy to see that they're casting, she looks a little bit older than I just don't have much interest in,
she's
like
attractive.
a grade school
Leave that
Poison
picture
Ivy.
up,
I'm
maybe.
sorry.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard when you have the hots for Catwoman and she's like
12.
It's a very sexual character, and she's 12. It doesn't work for me.
It's just how many villains were in this past season?
Yeah,
a lot.
And by the time Batman is Batman, they're going to be all old and withered.
Yeah.
The Riddler's is like 3 times his age.
Yeah, it's
Harvey Dent, who's
age
supposed to be
discrepancies,
Batman's like contemporary and his friend, Bruce Wayne's friend.
Yeah, he's like 20 years older than
It's
he
like,
is.
yeah. So that's the problem I have with it. Like, there didn't seem to be like a future plan. They're just like, check out all these villains. Black Mask, he's a big villain. We're gonna kill him.
I feel like the show is its own thing. It doesn't really keep in mind continuity too much.
No, it really doesn't.
It's a fun show, but it's pretty ridiculous.
Commissioner Gordon really is the only, I guess, hero in the show because
he's the only one they got the age right of. Bruce Wayne, he's about that much older than Batman. That makes sense.
Bruce
does
Wayne's
a good
barely
job,
a teenager.
too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyways, we could talk about that all day. Speaking of 12-year-old Bruce Wayne, or however old he is, David Mizzou talked about Gotham season 2, and he claims we're going to start seeing more of Batman in season 2, more of the dual personality. That's pretty much all that article really said.
Yeah.
So it's coming.
He's a doll though, and I'm excited to see his career blowing up. He was actually a fan of Glee and came and co-hosted a show with me.
Oh yeah,
a year back. He was like the
Batman loves Glee.
Yeah,
I would never have thought that.
Wow.
Yeah, he was really, really sweet. And at that point, he was on that Kiefer Sutherland show, and now he's jumped over or whatnot. So
Like Touch, was that the name of the show?
Yeah, I think that it's so interesting because these actors on the show, like we talked about, are so young that they don't get interviewed that often because they're just not doing the junkets, the press lines, whatever it is. So when he has something to say, I think it's cool. He didn't say much, though. He's on a mission. He really is going to start his dual personality into becoming Batman.
I think he'll do a great job with it. He's a great little actor.
Yeah, he is. He is. He goes on to say when he's Batman, there is his Batman side and then his public persona, which is more a playboy, party boy persona. And in season 2...
He's going to be 13 next year. He's going to be playboy?
That'll be
funny.
funny.
In season 2, he's really going to start...
Everybody?
He's really going to start developing that second persona. He's going to start having that and developing that with Alfred. I think it's going to be really cool. Well, we already saw him in this season. He had did he have that little makeout session, or at least almost have
No, he just had a crush on Catwoman.
No, I think they had a kiss, didn't they?
She kind of went for it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He
Good
didn't
for
do
her.
anything. He was kind of scared of everything.
He had a couple little, temper tantrums. But anyways.
I can tell how much you guys love this show.
We got to
No, it's a good show. It's got some... I think they didn't know if they wanted it to be about Batman
It's
or
kinda
like a crime procedural.
Yeah.
Totally all over the place. I want to like it.
Well, we got to run through these real fast
Yeah.
because we got to get some questions and bounce. All right. Roxy, take it away. The title for Flash Season 2, possibly The Man Who Saved Central City. Grant Gustin gave some Flash news, and then, of course, we'll make fun of Entourage again. But anyway, talk about Flash.
So I think it's probably the man who saved Central City. People are brainstorming what the heck that means. I'm going to let you guys try to figure that one out. And then Grant Gustin was interviewed, and he said that there's a huge new big bad coming this season, and that it will be announced, and that it will come very quickly in season 2. So that's exciting. And then he said that he's going to be heavily involved in the beginning of Legends of Tomorrow, so we're not going to have to wait to see his character. He will be there right off the bat. So Grant gave us some spoilers, and oh my God, I just am so obsessed with him every time he speaks. I'm like, yes,
And the show's great. The show's awesome.
Yes, he's so good. He's so good. But it's exciting. Any kind of Flash news, I don't care what it is. Like somebody broke their nail on set, I'm like, oh yeah, give me more. I love you, Flash. So that was.
I can't wait to see what they do going full guns a-blazing into season 2 because it was such a successful first season.
Yeah.
And they can do anything now. I think it's in a good place.
anything.
Especially if you look at like the dichotomy between the season finale of Flash, which left you on a big cliffhanger, and then the season finale of Arrow, which was people driving into a sunset.
Yeah.
So
That's a good thing to drive into, though. All right, final piece of news for the week, and it's more of just what the hell.
Keeping Entourage alive.
Adrian Grenier.
Yeah. So this was just a very quick video. He's being interviewed about Entourage. You guys know I love that show, so I bring it up all the time because he was in a version of Aquaman, the James Cameron version.
I can't stand him.
And so he was asked in an interview, what would you have to do to be an Aquaman? And he was like, well, of course, Johnny would have to be in it too, my brother. Ha ha ha. Because that's what he did for all his movies in the show. It was funny. We can move on now.
Is Johnny a character from Entourage?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's his brother. Yeah.
Johnny Chase. Vincent Chase's brother. Johnny Drama.
Golden Globe winner.
Yeah.
That guy is so lucky he even got an Entourage. Anyways.
Oh, shush.
Everyone knows
Devin's very talented.
It's the freaking truth.
Cricket.
No, I'm just been keeping it real.
I disagree.
Let's do it.
I disagree.
He didn't want to be in the show. They had to beg him to be in the show. That's how ungrateful he
No,
was.
that's Adrian Grenier.
That's what
They
I'm
had to
talking
beg.
about.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think I was talking about?
I thought you were talking about I thought you were talking about Kevin.
No, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Grenier.
Yeah, they did have to do that a little
that
bit.
guy.
Anyway, moving on to some of your questions. Oh, we need a questions on question.
No, don't. Just go to the questions.
At Batboy1989 says, set my alarm for 7 a.m. in Germany. Well, thank you for waking up in Germany.
guten
My
Tag.
question for the show, will we see footage of Wonder Woman in action at Comic-Con?
I would like to think we're going to see a little flash of something in a possible teaser. What do you guys think?
I think we're going to see more than we expect. I think they're going to blow us out of the water. I think, we'll see Wonder Woman.
Boomtown.
I think that we will see footage of Wonder Woman, not footage of any kind of footage of Wonder Woman standalone, but of Gal. Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah.
Got to.
Yeah, I think 100% yes. Definitely will. Haven't seen anything to date. They've been teasing her in some character posters. You'll have a scene that people take shaky cell phone video of that you'll see on YouTube the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Coming from Sarah Young at SkyYoung17, my favorite question of the night. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner splitting up is totally a DC versus Marvel thing, right? You go, girlfriend.
Too soon?
Yeah.
I was actually really, really hurt by this.
Yeah.
I really was.
It's sad.
I'm a
Divorce is
lover
always
of love.
sad.
Yeah.
Divorce is a bummer.
Yeah, they were like the first couple of Boston too, so we're really upset about that.
Yeah, it's
Go to
true.
Red Sox games together.
Elektra and Daredevil, the remnants of those movies just keep getting worse.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if you could say DC versus Marvel, because I think Marvel doesn't even acknowledge that happened.
No.
Yeah, and we're considering him DC now. So
Well, he's
we're
Batman.
also trying
That's as
to.
DC as you get.
He's for life now.
I'm just saying that Marvel isn't the only one who's trying to forget that film happened. I think DC probably is too.
It's just interesting that chapter is kind of closing as his career as Batman is opening up.
It's taking the page out of Batman's
I
books,
guess.
distancing himself from women.
He's becoming more and more Bruce Wayne.
It's a strange thing. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Okay. Coming from Jesse Bowers at JMB375
What
says,
up, Jay?
"What do you guys think of Batman vs Superman toys that were announced today?"
Oh, man, were they
I think we have a
adorable?
picture of them.
Oof.
Yeah, let's
The Wonder
get those
Woman
on
Barbie
set.
was great. Are those the hot toys?
No, that's just like I think it's like a Mattel or something. It's not.
Okay.
Hot Toys
Superman
are way more
looks
detailed.
great.
Yo, Batman's on HGH.
Yeah,
for
Superman looks
sure.
good. I don't know how well people can see the detail on YouTube, but he's got quite a lot of veins.
I just wish his
Veins
suit was
going.
darker.
Batman's taking that Barry Bonds cream and clear. That's what he's doing. Look at his arms.
Veins on veins on veins.
Veins on veins on
I think
veins.
the kids say veins on fleek, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at that body.
Yeah. All right. I can't
I'll buy 'em.
complain.
It's got the
I got a
rippling-
glass case.
It's got those
Okay,
rippling
well,
quads.
when you buy them, then come back on the show and bring
I
them
will.
on.
Okay.
All right, moving
I'm gonna get the
on.
Barbie too.
Moving on to Derek Cedar. Oh, our favorite designer at The Real DC2. Thank you for the fan art again. Speculating the hashtag Green Lantern Corps. Honestly, don't mind at Tyrese John Stewart, who we kind of disagreed there, who would play Guy Gardner. Hashtag DC2 fan art.
Which goes back to what we talked about earlier. Possibly a third member of the Corps.
Yeah, possibly.
Anyone have any ideas?
I don't think he's going to be in the film. I think that's biting off a lot to introduce, 3 Green Lanterns in the first film. But if they were to do it, I got 2 options for you. He's got to be like a young meathead. We talked about this a little bit before the show, what Guy Gardner is like. And so I would go with either Zac Efron.
What? Well, all right.
Or the young Franco.
Dave. Yeah.
I don't know the character too much. He's goofy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I'm
feel
going.
like they both have to be bigger than. Efron's not.
I would
big.
go.
Efron's
Efron's
jacked.
huge.
He's yoked.
But he's not. He's yoked, but he's not a bigger dude.
Neither
kinda
is
bigger.
Tom Cruise, isn't he? He's like 2'3".
Point taken.
Yeah.
People in the chat are saying Mark Wahlberg, Tom Hardy,
Too old.
Zac
Way.
Efron. I would say
Cool to see an old Green Lantern.
Channing Tatum. I think would be because he's kind of goofy.
Yeah, but he's
Oh, he's Gambit. Yeah.
yeah. Then it wouldn't be able
someone
to
like
work.
him.
But if we're dream casting here,
Yeah,
I actually
that
don't
would
think
work.
we're going to see a Guy Gardner in general. And also, what's his name? This is also dream casting because he wouldn't be able to do it. But Roy from Arrow, I think would do a good job because I love him and he's yoked too. What is the actor's
I'll do
name?
it, guys.
Johnny for Guy Gardner.
Hey, look, we have a lot in common. We're both from the East Coast. We're both blue collar guys. We both played sports. And, we both have a little bit of a rage inside. We have to keep that rage inside.
You've got the look.
Well,
You got it
go
down.
on Instagram and put your face on his body
Woody
and just
Harrelson.
start campaigning.
Do you want a collabo on that?
Sure.
Yes.
There it
We'll
is.
set up a shoot.
What's yours?
What's my what?
You have to pick somebody.
I wish I knew more about the character. I
Okay.
don't know, maybe like a comeback like Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I don't know. That's,
Oh, man.
I have no idea.
Maybe they should get an ex-football player.
Colton
Tom
Hayes,
Brady.
thank you.
Get
Colton
Tom
Hayes.
Brady.
Oh, my God. Tom Brady. Oh, my God.
Ewan McGregor. People are having some interesting Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, God. Who knows what
Johnny
Shia LaBeouf
honestly would nail it. Star Destroyer 11. I agree.
Thank you. Appreciate
Good
it.
name, Star Destroyer.
Chaos
Is that
United
everything?
said, "Isn't Guy a redhead?" We can. You see what they did with the Joker? You could dye anybody's hair.
He's been a redhead, yeah. Is that all the questions?
I think we're out of time. There's a million more questions. You guys killed it with the questions this week, so thank you. Roxy and Jet for the Wonder Twins. Yeah.
Let's do it. All
Thank
right.
you, Annie G.
Everybody put yourself over. Jet Striar, go.
That means say your social media. It's a wrestling thing. I don't get it either.
I used to watch wrestling. At Jet Striar on Twitter. JETSTRIAR.
Roxy Striar.
You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar, and I'll be going to Comic-Con next week, so I don't know what we're doing about our panel yet. We'll keep you posted, but I'll definitely be
Jealous.
sending bits out, so make sure you check
We
that
should
out.
do something.
exciting.
We have to meet up or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For show, because you'll be there being all funny and
Doing
stuff.
some comedy.
Yeah.
Ricky Middlesworth.
I don't have Twitter. I have Instagram. You can find me at Ricky Middlesworth, spelled just like it sounds.
What are you, one of them photographers?
Exactly. I'm a little more visual.
And the website.
Oh, I don't want to plug my website. I want to plug my friends' podcast. They have a couple of them, a really fun Sex and the City podcast, Carry On podcast.
Carry On.
Cool.
Podcast.
Yes. We get together and drink wine and watch episodes of Sex and the City and talk about it. And then Welcome to Deadcast is a podcast about Goosebumps books, and check those out. They're really great.
Cool.
Really fun.
All right, guys, at DC Movies SK, Facebook.com/DC Movies SK. Thank you so much. The show keeps growing every single week. Thank you to Popcorn Talk. You guys are the best. We love you. I'm at Jay Quasto. I'm doing a couple shows in San Diego next week. So if you're going to Comic-Con, hit me up on social media. I'll tell you where those shows are. And otherwise, I'm going to be just outside of Comic-Con, just throwing rocks at the window to hope someone lets me in.
I'm going to help you out.
Handling, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. That's what I'll be doing.
good.
Otherwise, hopefully...
Can't wait to hear your episode in a couple weeks.
Bye, Mike Konowski. We love you.
Yeah, see you, Mikey.
And the rest of you guys out there, we love you.
We love you too. Hopefully we'll see you at Comic-Con next week. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
Views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.